So welcome to this episode of Cooking with Carolina.
Hi, Carolina.
And today we're going to make sour cream chocolate bread. So, I know on the flyer it says this is my mother's famous chocolate bread.
Yeah.
So I realized when I found the recipe for my mom's famous chocolate bread. And that's actually the one. Hi, how are you doing? Come on in. And so that's actually the recipe, which is down here. So I learned that my mom's famous chocolate bread is actually a chocolate cake mix, chocolate pudding, chocolate chips, sour cream, and eggs. That's her famous chocolate bread.
You didn't know that before?
I had not made it for years, for a long, long time. And no, the recipe was like, I'm surprised I even found the recipe because it was on this teeny tiny piece.
Yeah.
Here's my little, here it is.
It's like a lot of my mother's.
Your mother's writing?
Yeah.
No,
No.
I wrote this. This was transcribed over the phone when I lived in California. I remember writing it down. But, so, what I've decided to do, instead of making that one, just in case EL came, because she would never let me get away with using a chocolate cake mix to do a cooking show. So we're going to make this other recipe that actually has everything more from scratch. But last night, I made my mother's famous chocolate bread.
Ah.
So we're going to do a taste test. A taste off. So first thing we do is, of course, preheat our oven. Now, I hate in recipes where they put preheating the oven at the end of the recipe. Really, it should be the first thing you see. So,
And you don't read it all the way through to the end.
I know, I haven't.
She's
I
kidding.
don't
We're kidding.
even know I know that I need to. I've made that mistake so many times and I still don't do it. Do you?
I can't
She
remember
doesn't
the last
bake.
time I baked. No, I used to look at least to see what I was supposed to do, kind of.
Kind of get a general idea. It is good to read the recipe through. Because they aren't always written in the best order.
Right.
Okay, so I am preheating my oven to 350 as it says in step number 2. And first we get to cream our butter and sugar. So this is my KitchenAid mixer, which is one of my prized possessions. This was actually a Christmas gift to me, I don't know, 15 years ago now. Note how I still keep it in the package with the styrofoam. Don't know why, but it's that precious. Really was one of the best gifts.
I'm surprised you being a cook, you don't have this, stand there.
I do have a stand mixer,
Yeah.
which, yeah, it comes in handy making bread,
Oh, yeah.
but otherwise it's kind of a hassle to lug out. I don't have
Yeah,
that
it
my
is
counter
that.
the whole time.
Right.
It's really heavy, and it's kind of clunky. I don't know, like this is so much easier and accessible. Do you have a stand mixer?
Can't find it. I redid my kitchen.
Can't
since-
find the
No, no.
They're kind of
My
big,
son
so-
made everything disappear. He remodeled my
probably in
kitchen.
his
Ah, well, there we go.
God knows where it is.
Ask him if you can borrow it, it's probably in his house.
The only
So-
thing I like about it is it keeps your both hands free.
That is nice, yeah. If you're doing a multi-step recipe, I can see, and I do like it for making bread because your arm gets, bread you're supposed to mix for like 10 minutes and your arm gets so tired then. So it does come in handy for that. Which I think I will make bread this afternoon. I think this afternoon I'm going to make some challah bread.
Oh, I had the recipe for that.
You have a good recipe
What is
for
it?
challah? Challah bread? It's like a Jewish sweet bread with the, it's the one that's braided.
Oh, I love that.
That's exactly.
They had a class at the hotel where we had to cover the whole floor of the ballroom with plastic, and they made it.
On the floor?
No, they made it on the tables.
Oh,
You would
okay.
not believe the mess that was left.
Yeah, I know. I think about doing a bread here, but we just don't.
Oh, yeah.
It's just too messy. Some things are just tough. Okay, so half a cup of butter. So that's a stick of butter.
Now, can you make this in a bread machine?
No,
Oh, okay.
it's like bread, but it's a cake.
Oh,
it's
it's
a
like
can of
bread.
bread.
It's a bread, but it
Rather
is.
than a yeast bread.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone donated a bread making machine.
Aha.
They were moving and they didn't want it.
Some people really love bread making machines.
I had a friend, she used it for making oatmeal.
Oh,
So that when the kids get up in the morning, she didn't have to.
uh-huh. You could use a crock pot like that too. Right?
I use a microwave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also
Open
good
those
with.
packets, don't you?
No, I don't do packets.
Oh, I do.
I do the old fashioned oats.
Oh, do you? But in the microwave?
Yeah.
Oh, I ripped open the packet this morning, and it was
Actually, my daughter introduced me to that because I never made oatmeal because I hated cleaning the pan.
Oh, really?
Even though I like that, you know. So this is easy as can be.
Old fashioned rather than quick.
Yeah.
So it says 1 cup of sugar.
I
I
think the old fashioned is a lot better.
am the person that always uses a little less sugar than it actually says because I don't like things being quite so sweet.
Now, was that you at the desk yesterday?
Yes.
Okay. Guess I
She's a
was
multifaceted.
So I pretended I didn't really know of. She had a
Well,
hat on.
Cute
I
little
was in
black
disguise
hat.
yesterday.
Were you? I recognized you.
You've seen all my disguises by now.
Was, what did you grease the pans with?
I haven't greased the pans yet.
Oh, okay.
No. But-
I thought-
No,
All right.
no, just clunk.
Okay.
Okay, so let's cream it up here. So I've left the butter out, but it still isn't very soft. It's just that it's so cold that
I bought some things and I haven't used them though. They're like Crisco and they're shaped like butter.
uh-huh.
Yeah, the butter flavors, right?
I don't know, is that what they are? And I thought it sounded like a good idea, but then I'm chicken to use them.
No, you can use them.
Okay, does it taste
How
okay?
do you know?
Back in the day.
Back in the day when you baked, they were around.
Crisco really, for some things, Crisco is the best. I'm trying to think of where,
Pie crust,
what's that?
pie crust.
Pie crust, yes. Yeah, exactly. I guess pie crust you can use butter too. I have not mastered a pie crust. Pie crusts are difficult and they take a lot of space and then you have to roll them out and they have to be perfect and I just find it so much easier to just buy a pie crust. They turn out better than mine usually do anyway, so why am I torturing myself?
I had people that use lard and they won the pie contest.
So, yeah.
And they had lard in theirs.
I'm sure if I took the time to practice different recipes and get it down, but it just makes it all take so much
Not
more.
a priority.
Yeah.
As you would. You
Modern
would-
convenience.
You would master it.
All right, so now we'll add our eggs and our sour cream. We have 2 eggs.
Didn't drive them away.
I think they probably were just waiting for something else to.
How are we gonna do a taste test?
Well, aren't you gonna stay at the library for an hour?
While you cook the
Well,
other
we're coming
one?
back to the ukuleles.
All right,
Actually, are you?
yeah.
I think
Oh, well,
so,
there you
yeah.
go. You can taste it then. Perfect.
I'm gonna
See, I
run
knew
out
this
of
would work
time
out.
to play with the library.
You made it.
Sorry about that.
There's a recipe right up there, Missy.
okay, thanks.
You missed the fun introduction though. The one on the side is her mother's recipe, and she's making this one here.
And we're gonna do a taste test later.
And I'm Harrison.
I don't know. Well, to be determined.
Okay, thanks. I just used the chocolate pudding too.
Oh, did you? You had chocolate pudding. So now 1 cup sour cream.
Smells good.
It doesn't. That's because somebody heated up some of the chocolate bread this morning in this toaster. Because it makes a lot. It makes 2 loaves. So I have a loaf back in the staff room also.
It's a good gift bread.
Yeah, definitely. Very good gift.
Oh, is the.
No, I'm using this is a 3rd cup measure just because it fits in there easily. It's easier to use.
Is the
Helps you
recipe-
math, you know.
Is the recipe book out? Is the January recipe?
For the cooking club, the cookbook club, yes, it's on the circulation desk. So you pick your recipe and then we'll make a copy for you and we mark it off. We put a sticky tag on what you've selected. So we all do different recipes. Okay, so there we have our eggs and our sour cream.
Could you use yogurt if you didn't have your sour cream?
I really
You ever tried
wanted to do that because
Yeah.
I like using Greek yogurt instead of sour cream. I don't know what,
You haven't tried it.
I haven't tried it.
I could try it.
It definitely is a different protein because
Right.
Greek yogurt has a lot more protein.
A lot more protein, less cream, so that might affect it.
It might, but it might make it better.
I have.
I
Well, Vicky could make it and bring it in for us.
There you go, a triple
I'd
taste
say
test.
Yeah, that'll be the next taste test. The next taste, yogurt versus
I have lactose intolerant yogurt that I just got.
There are so many
Try
different
that,
types
try
of
it.
yogurt now.
Yeah.
That'll be our 3rd thing, and then we'll try a total vegan chocolate.
Yeah. And gluten free.
Gluten free, yes. Great suggestion, great things because we don't know.
Okay, now we have our cup and a 3/4 of flour.
And chocolate chips, you can't go wrong with those.
What happened to dip level toys?
Dip level.
Not even paying attention to me.
To
Look
dip
at-
level
Dip
4.
level, you're supposed to take a knife and then take it
Oh,
back.
yeah, totally.
Back
No.
to, back to home ec, right?
Yeah, Mrs. Gray would not be happy with this.
That was 4.
I'll get there and then I'll estimate the last one.
Well, I know because they're heaping
She's got like 5
quarters, yeah.
We're estimating it. That's about right.
No, this one only makes 1 bread, right?
No, this one makes 2.
2 also. Oh,
Yes.
good. One will be a
See our 2
I'm pretty
pans
sure,
there?
yeah. Actually, this one doesn't say.
Paula?
Oh, yes. Oh, I
It seems
thought-
like it'll make 2. I don't know, we're gonna make 2 out of it.
I don't know, it just says well-greased loaf pan.
Yeah, maybe it makes 1. Well, all right then. You'll see. So, we're greasing the pan. I do prefer Pam, the spray Pam. I have tried other methods of like taking butter and wiping it all around the pan. Sort of doesn't work as well. Nothing works as well as the quick squirt.
That's all you do?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
See, I usually have puddles, that's why I don't like it.
That's why I do too.
Puddles, yeah, too much.
Oh no, you don't have to use that much. You just
Leave it.
yeah.
What
Just
about the other pan?
it
Oh,
looks
you
like
don't
this
know.
one really only makes 1.
Oh, okay.
My other recipe makes the other recipe I have on there makes 2. This one seems
Your
to-
mother's recipe.
Exactly. Yes.
Because the chocolate cake mix probably.
Yeah.
Well, that
Although
could
this
be-
looks like the same amount,
Yeah,
but
I was gonna say, it might not be a whole lot more.
Yeah, there's only a 1/2 cup more of sour cream.
Yeah,
well, we'll see.
We'll see.
Let's see. So here's our cocoa powder.
Oh, I know, I drench my pan,
Me
and then it
too.
runs down.
Yeah.
Oh no, you don't need that
That's
much.
why I don't like it, that's why I use Crisco and then
Oh.
flour.
Uh-huh.
I still use it.
Now, where's that, where'd you get that? Cocoa powder.
I'm trying to remember.
I've never seen that.
It's,
they might have it at Cooney. I haven't looked for cocoa.
I think
powder
actually
in a
this was a
while.
Cronin. This was a Cronin's cocoa powder.
Yeah, that's good.
What is
Good
that?
cocoa.
Tiffany's, yes, you
Tiffany's
shop
cocoa
at
powder.
Tiffany's.
Tiffany's the cocoa. It's Dutch. isn't it?
Trust it. Let's see. Baking powder, not to be confused with baking soda. Has anybody
Yeah.
ever done that? I.
No, do you use the aluminum free?
Baking
powder?
soda?
Baking powder.
Recipes on the corner.
Oh. This one does not say it is aluminum
Is
free.
it Rumford though?
It is Rumford.
I thought it was aluminum free for that.
We're making
I'll
the
look
one
at
on
it.
the left.
I'll just, I'm one of the lucky ones who can taste aluminum baking powder in anything, so that's why I asked.
Interesting.
You have to
Does
look.
it say?
I haven't even looked at that.
Is it a certain thing that it would say?
And the ingredients, well, you can go ahead and put it in.
I mean, it doesn't say aluminum.
Yeah, I can't remember the, yeah, I often can't eat baked goods, cause it just leaves this metallic taste
Tasteless. Oh,
in my
interesting.
mouth, yeah,
See, this I will be specific about.
it's good.
And the salt. Some things I don't ask.
Yeah, this is aluminum free.
Is aluminum.
Yeah, I
Okay.
thought it was.
Very-
Oh, I never realized they put aluminum.
And baking powder versus baking soda.
Oh, yes, nobody's ever made that mistake?
Cornstarch, sodium
I
bicarbonate.
haven't
Okay,
done it,
good.
but I don't really know why.
Usually,
I mean, I don't know.
yeah.
Oh, so I remember the first time I tried to make pancakes when I was a little girl, I was so excited, but I messed up and I used baking soda instead of baking powder.
Oh,
It did not taste good.
work.
No, it did not work. And it
They
tasted,
puff all up and they taste.
oh, yeah, they tasted terrible. Oh,
Huh.
oh,
That was our first lesson.
yeah. In cooking, there's a lot of trial and error. Don't give up, if at first you don't succeed.
Except if it's pie crust.
Yeah. Well, I didn't give up until
Till I-
multiple times.
Pie crust.
If you continue to fail.
Try.
The only time I made good pie crust was when I was married. Then I got a divorce and I lost it.
You lost that skill.
Did your ex-husband get it?
I know.
I wish he got something.
So you'll see this is actually very thick, especially compared to like a cake mix. It's more like a bread dough. Whoa. The bowl is fairly shallow. Okay.
Nobody knows where to. Somebody, I met
Do you know who
somebody,
manages the Ritz?
well, it's, he has the.
Not manages.
They have the restaurant thing at the Ritz. And she supposedly a friend, but they live in Dorchester, and their name is Larry and Rachel Allen. I met someone at a funeral off Island, and they told me it was their cousin at the restaurant there, and I've asked everybody.
Nobody knows who's
Nobody's gonna have to go into
We
the
just
restaurant.
haven't been hanging out at the restaurant. Nestle's now has a dark chocolate.
I saw, yeah.
Oh, really?
I went with semi-sweet. I was tempted to do a dark chocolate or some sort of fancy chocolate, but
See, a breakfast food
I
is
better-
never a breakfast food to me if it has chocolate bits in it.
Me either.
not
Honestly,
breakfast
this is-
anymore.
This is like a dessert.
So that's like a dessert.
Yes, this is definitely a dessert bread.
I can't eat bagels with a pancake.
I don't really like it either.
I don't like banana bread or any muffins.
No,
like
I don't either.
chocolate chips.
Or it elevates it to you're no longer eating breakfast. You're having a sweet.
Right, you're having. And this is good for muscle strength.
Yeah, exactly. Luckily, you don't have to mix it that well. This is very bready. There are chocolate breads I've seen where you actually, it's like a yeast bread. Another one we'll have to try.
I've made, a long time ago, I haven't made it lately, but I made, pumpernickel bread that had, chocolate, dark chocolate in it.
Just
Yeah.
powder though, huh?
No, I think.
Chips?
No, it was, instead of chocolate that you melt.
Oh.
Yeah, it was, like a old world sort of pumpernickel.
Was it
And
good?
I've done it for years, though.
And doesn't pumpernickel usually have molasses? Did this have molasses also? Oh.
Rich.
Exactly.
How many cookies are you supposed to bring for the cookie exchange today?
4 dozen.
4 dozen?
I did, but that's not, I don't know why it
Today?
said that. I would say 2 dozen, and you'll be fine.
Okay.
There's always plenty.
I'm trying to get a cookie swap going, or I am bring 1 dozen.
What? I think just bringing any is fine.
I think if
We already have some in the back, so
Okay.
there's
I
a,
think if you bring
there's a
2
good
dozen,
start.
then you take home 2 dozen.
Yeah.
Right.
And if you bring
Well,
1
exactly.
dozen, just 1
Yes.
dozen.
Yeah.
yeah.
And if you bring 4 dozen,
Or you see how many are left, and, you know. If you bring 4 dozen, you're giving out cookies to everybody in the library.
right?
If I bring 4 dozen, I have to go home right this minute.
And get baking.
And cook in my easy bake oven.
I think we're doing 2 loaves here.
We have easy bake ovens where I live.
Do you?
The disabled people on the first floor that can't cook have great big ovens, and the people on the second floor that can cook have easy bake ovens this big.
So I would say more than 1, huh? More than 1.
Looks like it.
Yeah.
It seems like it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's going to be a very dense.
It's very stiff.
It is very stiff. It's much different than the other bread I made, I will tell you that.
So you made the other bread with your mom's recipe?
I did. I made that one last night.
Oh.
Where is it?
I
Right over there.
Don't worry, we'll get a chance to look at it, check it out.
Yes, I do have it. I don't know, I mean, I could put more in there.
You can't really use the cocoa that you buy, like Swiss Miss or something like that.
Well, that's sweet.
It's already sweet,
That's
so you
what I
have
was
to
thinking
adjust
about.
your sugar
Exactly.
if that's all you had.
I don't know, should I think I'm just gonna cram it into one. It says,
It'll take longer to bake.
says one loaf.
Could you make cookies out of this too? Chocolate cookies?
I don't know, try.
Looks like you could.
I know, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The banana bread on the
We could
recipe
try.
says you can just make cookies.
Yeah.
Really?
I often will make like the little muffins out of like the banana bread because it takes so long to bake, it's like an hour or something. So sometimes I'll just make the little muffins out of it and it's easier to serve anyway.
It is easier. Though it does taste a little different, I feel like. I guess it would taste the same, but the textures. I love a good banana bread.
I love a good zucchini. Zucchini bread. Zucchini bread.
I owe you a zucchini bread. Someday I'll make you a zucchini bread.
Why?
Because you guessed the weight of the zucchini a few years ago.
You remember.
Are you kidding?
It wasn't you. Just hush up and get the zucchini.
Everybody was promising me they'd bring in so many zucchinis because they had so many zucchinis in there.
Oh, no zucchinis this summer.
No,
Something happened.
I didn't
Flowers
get
or
one.
something.
really.
I got some.
You did?
Not in the garden, I mean.
Oh, in the garden.
Oh, you're talking about the garden.
You had a card?
No.
Well, they had some
Usually
that
there's
was,
too many.
we had some that were this
Well, exactly.
giant, you
Usually
know,
there's so many.
because
They're
they,
not good when they're.
yeah,
Yeah.
they bring the, food they can't sell in the market.
Yeah.
Elderly.
The way you frame that doesn't make it sound.
To the mature adults.
Oh.
That's what,
The ones in our second childhood.
that's what our exercise person also says. We're not
Mature adults.
seniors,
They do
they're
that
old,
fish,
we're
too.
mature adults.
From the Derby. Well seasoned, we are.
Definitely.
But we get, you know, the other day they had, there was a sweet potato and it was like this, you know.
You can make a little character out of it.
I know I like to go and look at the shapes.
Well, you can make like, yeah, sweet potato.
Okay, well, this should be interesting. It will be extremely dense. I mean, this thing weighs
Wow.
a
And it's
few
gonna take
pounds.
3
How long
days
does
to
it make?
make.
Yeah, it may just
Oh,
be
yeah.
coming out of the
Oh,
oven
now,
when we get
yeah.
back
It
from
was
the
awesome.
ukulele group.
Are you playing ukulele?
No, we're coming to hear them.
Oh.
I'm supposed to, I kept saying I'm gonna start.
Is it the feather still on?
Well, I
Is
have,
it
what's her name,
ukulele?
now.
So we have 50 to 55 minutes.
Jackie,
I think so.
Cage.
I'm gonna have to run to the bank though.
No, so
That's
her
why you
kids,
have it.
her
My
kids have
recipe and
given
run,
it
but-
to her for a present, they thought she
Are you
would
gonna
like
have
it.
any cookies?
But it's a soprano one, I think.
No, I don't think so, we'll get to that today. I have to get packed.
Okay, so I'm going 55 minutes on this sucker because it is really dense and really huge.
Yeah.
So we'll see how this comes out. In the meantime, we can taste the other one.
Her mother's recipe.
Your mother lives on the island?
No,
Oh,
my mother has passed.
Well, it's nice to remember her,
that's her recipe.
share her
Yes.
recipe.
Exactly.
I think my mother's recipes were all of my nephew's cellar from oil pan.
I have a few written down.
I didn't take anything out of my sister's house from the cellar.
I
My
think
nephew's
that's
cellar.
right.
And the oil tank.
That's why it's good if you give your recipes away, because then you can call somebody and
Somebody
say,
has
do you
to
have
have
it?
Well, you know, it was like, I can't find any cookies, you know. You get that.
I have a lot of Pearl's cookbooks too. Alright, and I've gotten them for myself too, even if they weren't hers originally. I remember her favorite ones and have bought those.
Now, did you make two of these? With
These I
bread?
did, yes.
Yeah.
This one was 2 loaves. Let's see, I think we have some places somewhere.
My mother used to make an apple at Thanksgiving and Christmas. And then I found in my dump cake recipe book, just to use a spice cake and put applesauce in it, and the raisins.
So this one, it's up to you if you want to heat it up. You are more than welcome to. I actually like it chilled.
With whipped cream?
No. No whipped cream. No, believe me, it's enough on its own.
Hot fudge sauce.
It would be really good with ice cream.
Ice cream,
Vanilla
yeah,
ice
for
cream,
sure.
vanilla ice cream would be very, very good.
Well, my last banana bread, that oven is terrible. They've been exploding in the middle, and I
And then
told them
it's
there's
not-
something wrong with the oven.
Cooked inside.
Floating in the middle.
Yes, thank you. They blow up.
Odd.
My mouth is so sweet.
I wonder why that would
And
be.
this time it cooked too long, and it was all that black, and then the inside was all soft, so then I tried to put it in a chocolate pudding. I tried
You're
it.
funny.
Remind me never to come to your house.
Guess what I did? Guess what I did with the rest of it this morning?
I gave it to somebody's
In
dog.
the trash.
Oh.
You're lucky I didn't bring it.
Always an adventure.
So
Bring
now
it in
this
for the
chocolate
business
bread that you're
box.
tasting here.
Delicious.
This one here.
Oh, you have a camera?
I do. So this one is the recipe that's down here with the chocolate cake mix, the pudding, the chocolate chips, the sour cream, and the eggs. Very basic, very easy to make.
Which chocolate cake mix did you use?
I used Duncan Hines, I believe. There weren't a lot of choices. It's the island. We don't have a lot of things to choose from. You get what you get.
Have you used the cake mixer, has the pudding already in it?
It did
Do
have the,
not add the pudding as well?
No, I think the one I used did have the pudding already in
So
it,
you
but
could
you don't
use that.
actually, you don't make the cake mix, you just
Right.
take the mix itself and
Mhm.
then add the ingredients.
Right.
And the same with the pudding, you don't actually
So you
make
don't
the
have to
pudding.
add pudding on top of the pudding that's in the cake?
No, I added more pudding.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, yeah. This is like triple chocolate.
Remember those pudding cakes that first came out, and it would be pudding on the bottom, like, and pieces of cake on the top?
Oh, well, that's a trifle.
Oh, well, this was years ago they first came out.
Yeah, those are called trifles. Often they serve them in
Chunks
big
of cake and
punch
chunks of-
bowls,
yeah,
and
we
they'll
didn't
have
do that.
layers
Yeah,
of like
strawberries,
pudding
whatever,
and then
yeah.
fruit and then cake and then pudding and then fruit and cake and
Fruit
custard.
and
and
Cream, don't
They're
forget the
my
cream.
favorite dessert. I love them. DL made one for me one year for my birthday.
Aren't they English or something?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're very, very delicious.
My granddaughter made one once with gingerbread and I think some kind of like a little pumpkin, like for
I made one
Thanksgiving.
similar to that one year.
Good.
Ginger snaps too, they
That
use
one I used
crumbled
to
up,
bake.
big with that.
No.
So what's the cooking class, but like the other, the cookbook or whatever?
Oh, the cookbook club?
Yeah.
So with that one, we are picking recipes from the cookbook that's over on the circulation desk. And pick your recipe, mark it off, we'll make a copy of it for you. So the cookbook stays here, you just bring your recipe home. And then we make the recipes and bring them all in on one day, and then we talk about them. We taste and talk.
And we can't wait to hear your story.
I think you should bring that banana pudding recipe.
Well, you're making a recipe, so we are all making a recipe from the same cookbook, but a different
So
recipe.
you could have a banana bread in there.
I am making some sort, I think mine is like a pumpkin zucchini bread.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Good.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
It's an interesting cookbook. So we'll choose different cookbooks every month and give them a whirl.
I have a pumpkin recipe, and you make it in a cookie sheet. And it's so moist.
Is it a cake?
It comes out like a cake,
Oh,
you know, but it's so like a
Uh-huh.
squares. I think they're called pumpkin squares.
yes.
Yeah.
And you make it, it makes a lot. And I've happened to run across it the other day and made it. I should make another one because